I joined the City of Bellevue in 2008. A lot of things have happened in Bellevue over the last decade or more. Bellevue's economic profile, things I want to touch on are these: the emerging brand, key changes the last 10 years, and how we're measuring this quantitatively. First thing, Bellevue's emerging brand. Historically, Bellevue was a bedroom community. Then it started to move toward being a hub location on the east side, a central location. What's happened over the last 10 years is it's been changing towards something else. When I came on board in 2008, everything was going very well in Bellevue. There were 19 building cranes in downtown. The question was, why do we need economic development at all? We just need to hire more people to process permit requests, and we need to maybe upgrade our land use code to be a little bit more efficient. Very interesting perspective. So what we did was we took a look at what was happening, interviewed some people as well who were keys making decisions in the Bellevue area, and tried to understand the flavor of the economy. A couple things popped out of that. One is it looked like the real estate market was overheating in that sector, and that proved to be true. Another thing is it was interesting to talk to a number of key bankers, both here and in San Francisco particularly, who were making lending decisions about commercial properties in Bellevue. And it seemed that they were putting all their eggs a little bit too much in one basket. They were making these broad assumptions based on the number of employees at Microsoft, what they were earning, what they were likely to spend, and that would be fueling all of the future growth. And we, of course, saw that was a little bit maybe an oversimplification. And we also analyzed what was happening at Microsoft and what their revenue picture was. I look at key characteristics like revenues per employee, and we started to understand that there were maybe some weaknesses there, and we needed to be strategic looking forward about how we were planning for the city and how we could pursue a diversification strategy. The demographics have been changing at an incredibly rapid pace in Bellevue, as most of you are probably aware. In 1990, the population was about 88% Caucasian, if I remember correctly. And there were only 15 different languages spoken in the Bellevue schools versus more than 100 over on the Seattle side. Today, just keep that number in mind, what it was in 1990. So today, 34% of the population was born outside of the country. Nearly 45% combined minority or born outside of the country, and more than 80 languages, approaching 90 languages, are spoken in the schools versus 15, just 22, 23 years ago. People often ask us for the GDP, so we try to measure the GDP of just the region, and Bellevue's place in that is consistent, and that it ranks within the top 12 nationally. Looking beneath the surface of what's happening in the economy, one useful kind of measure is location quotients. Many of you are probably familiar with these. What you see as the large bubble is aerospace, and that's our traditional strength in this region. Below that, you see maritime also being a traditional strength. Notice that they're still very large. They're high up on the graph, but they're to the left of the line. And what that means is they're actually been shrinking. And they're smaller and lower bubbles, but the growing bubbles are the ones you see on that right quadrant there. And those tend to be ones that are located on the east side. Information technology, tourism has been growing, clean technology, even transportation and logistics. Thomas Boydell, City of Bellevue, and I'm the Economic Development Manager for the City of Bellevue. Also Untitled, I'm the International Relations Director.
Okay, great. And you talked about a few things happening, actually a lot happening, and what do you see as opportunities for brokers and developers in Bellevue? What are some things that we can look forward to working on there?
I think there are thousands of opportunities. I'm picked up from other people that Bellevue is one of the most exciting markets in the United States, and that it's not just Bellevue, it's the entire East Side nexus. There is quite a bit that's happening there, and we hope that there will be things that will continue to happen. Microsoft has been just a great engine, for example, of economic activity, and so has the University of Washington. We're hearing that there are going to be new generations of innovation coming out of those companies, and then there are other companies that are springing up that absolutely amaze me. They're in brain research and space research and other things.
And international, you're doing work with China, and a few of those are coming over too, right?
I've been doing quite a bit of work. In 2009, I began a regional initiative in partnership with the Trade Development Alliance called Initiative India, and so we've done some recruitment of Indian companies and some partnership building and trying to understand the Boeing connection to India, which is a very strong connection. And then also focusing on China, but we've also have other activity focused on Japan and Korea and Taiwan and Germany and Spain and the UK. There's so much that's happening around the area that we just try to learn what some of that activity is and try to be a participant.
And Bellevue's got quite a bit of capacity too. It looks like it's getting bigger, but you've got a long ways to go. You've got downtown and Wilburton and the Spring. You can add a lot of capacity there, can't you?
There's a tremendous amount of capacity that can be added. The things that slow things down a little bit is you have to look at is the infrastructure adequate? How is traffic being planned for? The time frames that you have to follow to plan ahead for building a building and then going through construction and getting it tenanted and some things like that.
And when will your light rail come online anyway? That's a big deal for Bellevue.
I believe it is scheduled to come online in 22.
About 9-10 years? Yeah.
About 9-10 years.
And that'll be here pretty quick. And a lot of the development will come up around that, won't it?
It seems like it's a long time away, but it will probably feel like tomorrow once we get there.
Great. Well, that's all. Anything else you'd like to say?
This is my first experience with CCIM.
Well, you've done a great job.
I'm very impressed by what a professional organization is and what a strong group the professional membership is, and it makes me want to be more involved, and I wish you a lot of success as you continue to grow.
Well, we look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.